control space with the Roadhog and the May.
Yeah, and congratulations to, I believe, Morningstars. A couple of their players actually just recently announced on the World Cup roster for Team France.
Pretty cool.
So Chubbs, Asking, and Tech36, I believe, all managed to get a shout-out in that particular lineup. So
good lads.
2 thumbs up from them. None currently announced on the side of Shoes Money Crew, but that may change in future announcements.
Indeed it might. Now Asking taking a proactive position on the right-hand side, trying to get those long angles through. He's making very sure there's no one there, but while that's happening, Tridd.
Well, there's a lot of sure things about this one, Blank. That wall cutting off the retreat, the bio grenade shutting down the healing. It just all spells disaster for Morningstars.
Ooh, nice little dirty headshot there.
I mean, this is just an
Obling
easy take as well. They just get to leisurely walk over to the point because they just dominated that first fight.
Really, it's a little bit difficult, though, because you did actually lose your Orisa, so it's kind of hard to set up early by this choke with a commanding amount of pressure, but Shoes Money Crew are going to try and do it regardless. They do have I'll Be the Best on this Ana, see if you can get some big of those anti-grenades off, but for Morningstars, it's quite easy to push out.
They may not be able to command, but they are conquering right now, especially when they have that May right in there to try and mess up the fight a little bit further. Opling on point with the Hanzo so far, just pumping damage into Morningstars, and even Gustav's getting on that kill feed as well. It's still very by the numbers for Shoes Money Crew here. Nothing out of the ordinary, but they don't have to at this point.
Obling, just turning Morningstars into a pincushion.
Yeah.
There, he's playing very well on the Hanzo so far, and managing to duel out versus Asking a lot of the times. Asking now just getting the Infrasight online, one of the quickest charging ultimates, so he's not been able to hit too many shots because he has been kept in check.
Nice dink there onto Asking. He's popped the Infrasight, so he knows what they're going to be now. Over the Halt Hook combo, there's the Blizzard deployed, and Mouse can cut off the reinforcements. The supports are pocketing each other. The burst damage from the Icicle wasn't enough. What a beautiful sleep to shut down the tempo, but the result's still going to be the same because reinforcements came in from SMC.
So difficult for Morningstars to get out now because Mao's here on the May. I don't think we've ever seen him on this hero before, so it's cool that he's flexing off onto it this season. And because he's able to just deny a lot of the space that they can take with the walls, very difficult for Morningstars to go anywhere, especially when they keep taking the same route of ingress.
They don't really have to change it up right now. It's not really working out for them, but they can get an edge here. They kind of need to because they're entering final fight territory. The trapped in the corner, going to drop the supercharger. There's the sound barrier as well to boost up Obling. Kagasi's already found Naga. He's going to shut him down. Obling, the shield! Just going to be bursted down, and now they're just penned up. They're bunkering wherever they can. Drijo flies out, whips out the pistol, but this is the final fight for them. They're not going to get another full contest, and it's just been thrown to the absolute wind here. Domination by SMC on Mecha Base.
Big time, Tridd. Absolutely big time. Morningstars don't even get a foot on the point, I don't think, once.
They weren't even allowed to play Overwatch, I don't think.
Not really, and I think that comes down to just kind of butting their head against the wall there, going through the same place a lot of times. Before, actually, I think Elk was talking about this, is you could position your Lucio just above the underneath entrance, and he could simultaneously hear left side and underneath. That's no longer a thing. You can't actually hear underneath anymore. But you could technically set it up either way. But knowing that, you could definitely go for a different entrance there and try and fake Shoes Money Crew out. Instead, made it incredibly easy for Mouse to just set up these walls wherever he went. Now Morningstars, Tech36 has to contend with Naga here on downtown.
I don't know if he can. I think we're looking towards that interaction you already mentioned at the top of the show, Blank, about Asking trying to shoot Naga out the sky, because now it's Mouse against Tech36 as well. So vice versa, we're looking for these duels to happen, and both farmers playing very conservatively, hiding behind that cover in the sky, as a double kill already opens it up for SMC. So this is looking very similar to Mecha Base right now.
Asking does get the better of Mouse, but you're right, looking very similar. The fight goes over so quickly. I think at the moment, Shoes Money Crew is just taking advantage of the fact that Tech36 and Asking is taking a long time to set up. So with that 5-man advantage versus the 4-man on the ground, they're just pushing forward. Croc's taking a ridiculous amount of space so far.
He's being allowed to.
Yeah. Given a free pass.
So much pressure being applied onto the side of Morningstar, they can't even get set up. And Chubbs, if he's being removed this early, how are they ever going to walk forward?
They just can't, Tridd. And I mean, in that hallway right there, Croc's, he's the hallway janitor. He's just going to come through and clean you up nice and easy. He's going to have a supercharger for the next fight, which is going to push you through nicely. And Mouse, I do like that he is respecting Asking, taking a lot of these very short angles with a lot of objects around him, a lot of that terrain to keep him covered.
He's making it harder for him to find out Tech 3-6, and he doesn't really need to because, yet again, Chubbs just demolished by Crocs, and he's going to get that second kill by finding Tech 3-6 as well. We're getting a 50%, and Mecha Base is just, it just looks exactly the same as that. The Morningstars are nowhere to be found on point.
It is tumbling away in front of our eyes from Morningstars. Slur's got the nano boost, and that's got to be big, but you're looking at Naga here, so ready to drop the barrage.
He wants them to go through that short corridor.
Come on.
He's longing to. He's arcing up there. He's getting in this corner. He's found himself Tech, and he's taken him out. Nano boost being committed with the concussive blast in the range. What a set play by Naga.
It's huge.
Just to go in there and clear them all out. 70% and ticking. Morningstars need to get on this point.
Yes, they do, Tridd. You can't do it when the rockets are raining down on you from above. 4,000 damage, increased by that nano boost. You're sitting at 6,000 there. Very hard to get away from that one. And now Obling has the perfect tool in hand to push you away from the point. It's the whole hog. Now is the time for Morningstars to use ults. They have a pick.
Okay, so they take out Slur. Naga's gone down as well, so they're finally getting something in, but it's the main tank. They need to get Chubbs in position on the point and locked down. Tech firing rockets and finding no kills. Slur brought back into the fight, and now they're going to go up to the sky. Croc's going to take out the supercharger. They have much needed flip coming in from Morningstars, but they cannot make a mistake on the rest of this map, Blank, because now they're fighting against a 99%.
They had to use 5 ultis to take that one too, Tridd. Such an expensive fight for them, and Obling, Whole Hog might be a quick ultimate to get, but he's very patient with it, understands that he can just wait now, and now Mouse is coming up on an infra site of his own. He's going to have sight advantage over Asking, who will not have an infra site to use to counter that. So Shu's Money Crew will be able to take a very easy route in, and the big thing here is that Mouse will know exactly where Asking is setting up, just because Asking has been taking these very wide angles.
Not just Asking as well. Tech 3-6 has got the barrage. He's going to be able to spot out any kind of ambush coming from that particular individual. Now the infra sites have been popped, so Tech 3-6 needs to be very careful about where he positions for the foreseeable future. Kagasi taking out Crocs, and now Obling's gone down as well. No tanks on board for Shu's Money Crew. There's no way they're going to be able to contest the point. 50% will be Morningstars.
I think it's a bit of a shame though. They used the infra site quite early there. But Naga, they're actually nanoing him, thinking he can get in there.
Well, they're not. They're nanoing Tech 3-6. And Naga found 2, regardless of that fact. Naga will go down to himself, but Mouse has now found Tech out of the sky. Slur's committed that nano boost, and they really needed that one, because I'll be the best is going to have a free one to use on Naga in the next fight.
Big pick from Asking. They absolutely needed that pick onto Gustav. That denies a res coming through here, and now it's much more difficult for Obling to move in, which you know that you wanted to do with that whole hog.
Ult hook, 4-5 from Crocs will shut that down, so he's not going to be pulled over to the team, thankfully. But they're now going to be looking towards Tech 3-6 to use this barrage. No infra sites online. Crocs, Bio Grenade going to shut down the healing. We're now moving into final fight territory. Shu's Money Crew, they shouldn't commit to this one. They should back off, go as a 6-man unit, but they're pumping ults into this fight.
Super commanding presence towards the beginning of this one, but Obling will get stunned and then down.
They
89%.
have to reset fast, Blank. They're on 90% right now. Whoever comes out of that spawn room fast is going to have to touch. And it's Mouse switching over to Wrecking Ball to make it happen.
Clock's ticking now, Tridd. They really do not have enough time to make this happen. Mouse gets through. They missed the hook, so that's big for them.
Yeah, but it's a Bionade and no shielding. It's an easy pick-off. The 5-man unit of Shu's Money Crew is going to sprint to the point. They will get the touch. Naga has barrage. There's the supercharger. Asking he's keeping him out of the fight single-handedly. And he's going to find I'll be the best on the Widowmaker. Obling getting on his face with the Tracer.
Oh!
Picked again by Asking. Tech 3-6 finds Naga. And what a comeback for Morningstars on downtown.
You know what? The curtains didn't quite open at the beginning. We had the man come out and tell us you might have to wait a little bit delay, but the Asking show had finally begun. We see it towards the end there, and we see why this man is so revered on the Widowmaker. This guy is crazy.
He just basically held his arm out and just stopped the small child of SMC, just swinging the arms at him. Just couldn't touch him at the end because they were just going in so panicked. There wasn't a set plan. It's like, we have to touch. We have to deal with Asking. And then they just suddenly lose themselves in that fight, in that chaos. Now moving on to the final round, Sanctuary is where we will decide this first map and decide who takes momentum moving into the rest of this series.
This might be the map here, Tridd, for Shu's Money Crew. Asking knows that it's going to be a bit more difficult to play that Widowmaker. There is so much terrain around here. Mouse will go over the Sombra as well. So we'll have that double hack coming through. But Croc's currently on the Hammond. Wants to create a lot of havoc in the back line that Naga can then follow up on.
But Asking just has to hack him, and then he's absolutely useless. So he needs to be really careful about that one. I'll be the best picks off Slur. And Naga's then going to find Kagasi as well. Shu's Money Crew, yet again, take the initiative in these engagements.
Judo does invest the Resurrect, but makes it a little Bit too late now. Slayer is caught out in the open. Just one more rocket should do him.
Have they switched sides here? I'm trying to work out whether they actually came from that original side. They've wrapped all the way around. No, I can see someone coming from the spawn room. So Morningstars have just been forced off the point. They have done some weird macro rotation around the map.
No asking, though. Still currently in the lead when it comes to ultimate charge towards that EMP, which will be huge.
Ooh, Tech. Taking some spicy damage, will be healed up by his pocket. They are contesting the point now, but Shoes Money Crew have the control, so the longer this goes on, the more advantageous it will be for them. Obling getting himself outside of that Hulk range, doesn't want to come into the hook, and he's still on the back line looking for one of these supports. Pegasi goes forward, maybe a bit off board he can shoot, because the Bionade shuts down any type of healing. Crocs will capitalize, and now Chubbs going to feel the brunt of the damage coming from Mouse. Obling still on the back line, hacked out, but the fight's already been won by SMC.
And Obling is playing the Tracer exactly how you play the Winston to a Reaper matchup, is he's just playing where the Brigitte is not.
Yes.
Which is really smart because he's cutting off a lot of the support that those backliners were giving to the tanks, giving to Brigitte. Obviously, once the armor pack goes through, Chubbs is left high and dry. Croc's able to take huge advantage of it. So there will be switches coming from Morningstar's. Kagasi will be able to do a much better job at dealing with that Tracer, and from a distance too, mind you, with that hook. But Shoes Money Crew, they come up with a lot of good ultimates. They cannot fumble at the last moment, though, because they have come up to 99%.
Mal's keeping an eye on where they are. Asking's already committed the EMP to find free. Mal's going to go in as well. He's going to ground free of his own. They're going to be shutting them down. Obling then gets followed up with the sleep into a hack. He's been perma-CC'd in this fight. Nice direct on the Tech 3-6. Into the barrage. From above, Naga! Finding everything and more at 80%. Morningstars get one more offensive and 2 ults to make it work.
He is so good, Tridd, on this Farah. Almost Panda, the head coach of SMC, is liking this guy to the European thing, and I'm seeing it. I'm starting to see it a little bit. Morningstars, this has to be it now. They have the similar combination. The Nano Boost into the Farah with the barrage afterwards. They have to make this one work. 97%, someone gets on.
Well, they've already committed the Nano Boost. You just hear the voice line off in the distance. They're trying to get Naga and Tech 3-6 in position. We'll only find Crocs, but that may be enough. Both tanks are now down for SMC, so no one's going to be able to solidify themselves on this point. So they're looking for the rotation. Gustav gives his life to get the resurrection onto Crocs into play, so they can try and go for that contest. But too many members of SMC have gone down, so the flip will inevitably go their way.
It may seem like the play there to bring your tank back, but that's 400 extra ultra charge to Morningstars. They desperately need to continue this fight going. Before Asking might have not had an EMP in time to deny the next push that comes through with the supercharger, but now that he has it, now he can start to snowball the rest of this team. Morningstars have a chance to pick and choose what ultimates they want to use, and another pick on the Naga, that's a lot of time just being shaved off the clock. We saw it in downtown. Cannot happen again here.
In theory, Blank, they just gave themselves another get out of fight free card by taking out Naga. Now they're going to have the EMP for their second get out of fight free card, assuming they play it correctly.
It's a terrible position to be in as Shoes Money Crew. You see, out comes a supercharger. They need to make this work now. Obling trying to move forward. In comes the EMP.
And there's that EMP on the back line. 2 members being found out, and Obling hacked after the fact as well. Naga will take out Asking, and Dreidra has already gone down, so no more healing, no more rest.
They're doing it
come
again.
out the spawn room, and look at this. They're going for the hack. They're just going to commit to this fight right now. Crocs brought back in. The members of Morningstars are falling apart. Bionade onto Chubbs. That Valkyrie from Dreidra is going to do absolutely nothing as SMC go for a valiant retake against Morningstars.
They just put the Nano Boost on the Naga, and they have so much faith in this guy to make the fight work. Here's the barrage for the cleanup. Has to get it through. Asking goes down. No hack available.
And the Bionade's going to take out Asking. There's nothing for them to do. Morningstars come in and contend as Naga will put himself into the sky. They still have control of the point, and they're forcing out much more of the map percentage. But there's the rain. It finds the gap in the awnings. Flip comes in for SMC, and overtime is in effect. Nice sleep onto Naga, but they're keeping the Roadhog away. Asking has to throw himself at the point for the stall. It has to tick down. That has to be enough. SMC will take away Busan.
It looked a bit dicey there on downtown, but SMC bring it back in a big way. And I say SMC, I mean Naga. I'll be the best though. I think the timings on these nanos are really crazy. And I like to imagine that Naga's there on the headset. He's saying, give me the nano, I can finish this one off. And you know what? He delivers every single time.
Absolutely amazing play there. Hey, Asking popped off as well, so it's not completely over just yet. We got 3 more maps for you. That's for given. So go to a break and then join us for map number 2. SMC versus Morning Stars coming back on your screens. Thanks for sticking with us. Map number 2 coming up real quick, but the result of our previous match, or our previous round, was Busan going away of SMC. So they take the early lead, and they're above them in the standings right now. SMC, they've got even a greater chance than Morning Stars being able to get into our playoffs. They just need to keep with this momentum, keep with the tempo, and keep getting the W's when it comes to these maps. Paris, our next destination. Something like 40 degrees right now, Blank. I don't want to be here ever again.
No, ever. Don't take me there.
Not a 40-degree Paris.
I don't want to step a single foot. I literally, if I got off the plane in Paris, I would just immediately crisp up and then subsequently just be lying in a hotel, be like, aloe vera.
Why are you yelling for aloe vera for? Just actually like fork out the money for the after sun. Don't go for the aloe vera instead.
Only aloe vera.
After sun with aloe vera though. Ooh, now we're talking.
Very nice.
Best of both worlds. Pretty good solution as well. Can Morning Stars find a solution to Shoes Money Crew? Because at the moment, I'm watching Big Mag Naga on this Farah dancing around the sky, using everything to reposition and finding those perfect times to use that barrage.
Yeah, he's blowing through the roof so far. But talking to Ruse, he needs to actually get over on the left-hand side from the attacker's perspective. That's where a lot of the Farahs will attack from. Gives a lot of great defense to the Mercy on hand as well. She's able to just drop down behind the Farah, be very, very safe from any of the sneaky headshots that Asking is able to just, flow through on your Mercy on the backline, which is not what you want at all. But a lot of this will be down to how well Mouse can keep Asking in check. Because if it comes to a point where Naga's struggling to even pressure the shield from the left-hand side, you have a tough time ahead of you. It will be Shoes Money Crew on defense, so they'll have to worry about that on attack first. Morning Stars, on the other hand, they're going to go for something with a little bit more shield break potential. We'll see what Slur switches over to back to that Ana. Maybe he's been checking out those Darwin mods and is able to get the big Ana grenade through that lands on top of him.
The big yeet.
The big yeet.
I'm not going to find it this time occasion. Going over to the Roadhog instead. I'm going to have Kagasi on the Sombra this time around, rather than seeing Asking, because he's going to opt to go for the Widowmaker for the time being. But now we're seeing some more flexes. It's probably just to scout and get information. SMC, they're locked into this composition though.
Interesting that they're going to go with the Diva. I imagine that they're going to try fly up there and deny a lot of the poke coming through using the Diva Matrix. But this means a quick push from Morning Stars is required. Crux already at half HP. A nice anti-nade will stop Morning Stars' push early.
He's got 2 supports to help him, so he should be able to recover from that quite nicely. But it's all about speed, like you said, Blank, and Morning Stars taking this one slow for now. They're trying to get whatever advantage they can. The Ice Block will expire and allow Asking to take another shot. Won't find it. Scouting Arrow, hoping to give more information as Morning Stars press even further up, but Naga has found Asking. Kagasi's going to pick up the slack, though, thankfully enough, so that aerial terrors out the skies. Holt into a shot. Wall will block follow-up damage from coming as Kagasi will play it very close.
Big anti-nade coming through. Tech 36 definitely will be DMAC there. Now you've got a pretty much 4v5 situation. Oberling should have died.
He will die. Tech 36 manages to fight him afterwards. So it wasn't necessarily the fast push we were looking for on this one, Blank, but Morning Stars, I think they've done enough to take away point A.
Yeah, they made it work. They were banking a lot on Naga, where Shoes Money Crew. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think the shot onto Naga from Kagasi was at all intentional. I think that Naga actually just dropped into his shot. I think he was trying to pressure the high ground, which is slightly unfortunate for Naga. However, Kagasi still made it work, so we'll give him that. Now both Infosites will be available, but cancelled out by each other. We talk about this one a lot, so neither teams will probably be moving in. So they're relying more on Kagasi's Sonic Arrow for the time being.
Asking's committed his one now. Mouse is going to have a brief overlap at the end of it. Obling's already been found out by the slight advantage of the Infosites. He wasn't in the right position to be able to try and survive that one. There's that Nana boost again. The confidence they have in Naga to just run forward. And you've got to get out of there. You've got to grapple hook the safety. He's going to barrage the Diva at point blank range. Naga is fearless. And he's able to capitalize over everything. Morning Stars just blasted into the next dimension by Naga's sheer aggression and bravado.
Insane. You would have thought you'd find Nagas under the water, but you find them in the air instead.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising, but he's performing excellently so far, and it really is this fearless attitude that he is bringing to Shoes Money Crew. Tech 36 is like, I'm going to Diva make you, it's fine. Naga's like, I've had enough of that.
It was just terrifying to watch it from Morning Star's POV. This nano-boosted fire just get closer and closer, and even tried to escape away from it. But it wasn't. They just couldn't get away. Now they're going to have to try and go up against just the Blizzard. But it's like the Sombra Ultimate in the sense that you can write it off as a free win for the team fight if played correctly.
At the moment, though, Shoes Money Crew, they're playing quite split. Yes. And I think this Dragon Striker's got to find a lot of value alongside Chubbs throwing in a good halt. But look at Obling on the side. He's waiting for them to drop through.
He's waiting for it. He's going to run up behind him. He's got the Blizzard out before Tech can even look to try and get the eat. He needs to take out Slur before he can get the take a breather on. He will do that, but Chubbs punishes him for it. Bio Grenade going to stop the healing coming into him, but they've set up a nice forward operating base on the point to start contesting. And they've fallen just shy of 33%. They will get the first piece of the pie as they're starting to get more kills on the SMC as they're running out the spawn room.
There's some nice dinks coming through from Mouse, but Kagasi will put an end to that one. Gustav desperately looking for a defense, and Obling taken down immediately.
As expected when he's running up against Asking, who's got the time, he's got the luxury. We talk about it every time.
Oh no.
If you come at Asking, just swinging limbs, you're going to have difficulty. He's going to pick you off. Naga did manage to find Slur, but nothing else from that one. Just get Mouse, take him out. Obling again committing onto this dive. Mouse will go down. The reinforcements from SMC are coming out of the point, and they're looking to contest it, and they're even getting the kills to boot. This might be the hold for SMC as they reflect Morningstar's attack.
They have stopped them short. Great actual pick from Obling onto the Genji. I really enjoyed it. Didn't work the first time because Asking put a quick stop to the ninja's shenanigans. But the big thing here for Obling is that he is very quick to get onto a backline, or more specifically, a Widowmaker. Yes. And if you can make sure that one tap comes through, he can take away the main thing that's keeping Morningstars in that position.
He's so close to the nano boost, he's going to stick with the Genji. And he's going to stick with that blade because I'll be the best if he can build out fast. Well, we could have a nano blade combination coming onto Obling. And if Morningstar's forced the hand of SMC early, he might just have to do it dry instead.
Yeah, Naga's going to feel like it's a little bit missing from him, but I don't think he'll mind too much when the nano blade does come out in the end. Gustav, equally though, can just push the blade in using the Valkyrie just to escort him inwards.
He needs to get somewhere. The Hulk pulls him back and nearly cost him his life. But Asking's found Naga. He has to commit the Dragon Blade early because the members have already gone down. And Slur shuts it down. The Pionade will land onto Morningstars. And they're just going to tear through SMC. This was not the plan. This was not the play, Chief. And again, SMC switches over to the heroes. They get there just in time for the contest, but Naga's not enough. Completion will come through for Morningstars, and it's now the onus is on SMC to go ahead and get that full capture.
Yeah, try and get back on the point after that one, mate. I doubt it heavily. They had a very clean sweep there. Let's be honest. And I think a lot of that came down from Shoes Money Crew were banking on that blade coming through. Slur actually hooks Obling mid-dash. And it's something you can do because dash does not make you, it does not pull you from the game like Fade does. You are still an object passing through the air, so the hook connects, pulls him in, instant headshot, very well played.
You're
to
preaching
Slur
to the
there.
choir of Reinhardt mains right now. Just like, what, I don't get to travel across the map without being interrupted? How dare you?
I know, right? But yeah, that's a very good play from Slur. He had to shut that down early because I think Obling knew exactly what he was doing there. If he didn't get hooked in, he would have immediately taken down Kagasi, which is a huge presence removed from the map, not only for the rest of Shoes Money Crew, but specifically for Crocs there. He can actually set back up on point, get the shield down, and be able to shield down for much longer because there's no storm arrows in the way, which is going to rip his shield to shreds.
Shimada brother committing a bit of fratricide.
Yeah.
Had to be the play. Had to be done on that occasion. But
Sometimes
like I said,
you just got to take down your brother.
Sometimes you just got to look at him and go, you know what? You've stolen my Legos for too many times right now. You've stolen my Legos one too many.
I'm going to pepper them all over the floor just outside your room, mate. That's what you get.
In the middle of the night, I'm going to bang on your door. Help!
Run away.
Can't wake mum and dad up. And then he just opens the door. Just,
crunch.
Legos, you're there. Before smartphones, you would have had to laugh, but now it'd be a viral video. Look at Asking. Trying to use that shield as a cover. Quite creative from Chubbs, but ultimately will be fruitless.
Yeah, I think he's been playing with Legos himself. The creative lad whacking the shield on the right-hand side, stopping Naga from coming through.
I don't think there's a Paris set yet, Blank.
No, I don't think there will be for a little while either. Probably melt in Paris too at this rate. But Shoes Money Crew, they want to get through, and Naga on the hand zone now, so not on that Farah anymore. They know they need that shield break. I like Gustav being on this Batiste, though. It does provide the immortality feel, which is super important to denying Asking those one-shot kills, which are massive value to you early.
Ooh, there's the halt and the hook, but Obling, he's got himself to take a breather, but Unfortunately, his breath was frozen up by Tech36 and will be picked off afterwards. So that's first pick down. SMC missing a prong of their fork on the attack.
Morningstars, though, were pushed back a little bit, which means that now Shoes Money can take a good presence here. Not anymore asking, we'll just remove Mouse. So now Shoes Money Crew, they're going to have to moonwalk it back to spawn a little bit. But Gustav, he's got the amplification matrix, which is pretty big for them. They will be able to remove the shield very quickly. I don't know why Shoes Money Crew is sticking around this long.
Naga didn't even complete the duration of the hook there because he was taken out by Chubbs before he got to his final resting place. And I'm starting to notice a pattern when it comes to the Widow Jewels here, Blank. Asking is definitely getting the edge over Mouse when it comes to a direct matchup.
Yeah, Asking again. Takes down Naga. This is a map where you can excel on the Widowmaker. There's some very decent sightlines. You see him on the right-hand side. You can see all the way back into Mini there. Shoes Money Crew, the shield, the wall is down.
Yep.
So now you can actually use the amplification matrix in a big way without worrying about that big wall getting in the way, basically.
They called it, now they have to duck behind, but they can't stay in that position. They're going to have the Dragon Strike just going straight through. Morningstar's finding two, and the return attack's not there. Naga taking Asking out of the sky with the headshot, no less as well. And again, finds Tech, but Chubbs will end his reign of terror and push SMC back again.
That's really important, though. 2 picks is huge, and you see that with Mouse going over the Widowmaker. Will grapple hook out of the spawn quickly, but they can only bring one of them back. So because spawn advantage is here, Shoes Money Crew can make a full regroup. They will have the advantage.
There's that supercharger for Chubbs, and we've already talked about the long walk for Asking. He's not in the fight. Nice halt, wasn't quite high enough over the wall to get the damage in, but Slur was tagged down. Now Supercharger's been removed for Morningstars. They still have the whole hog and the Blizzard if things start to go wrong for them in the next engagement.
Asking will be back now. So they've reset. Crocs has to walk out. Does use the fortification shield.
He's like locked up in the ground right there. Dragon Strike will find 2. He was caught between the ice block and terrain. He wasn't able to get away. His Shoes Money Crew will find 3 with only Mouse going down for now. So they got a huge person advantage moving on to the point A. But Kagasi will take out Naga again to try and level this playing field out. Point control is in favor of SMC, and Mouse has made the switch over to Wrecking Ball to get there in time if needed. Amp Matrix as well to break the shield, as well as the Supercharger. SMC are throwing everything at this point, and they have to catch it, otherwise it could be disaster for them.
I think that it's very smart to do that. You do not want a big stall there, because you know Morningstars are going for it because they have a Dragon Strike which can encompass the majority of the point, and then a Blizzard afterwards, which could have actually brought it right back around and finished Paris out here and now. Now 4 minutes 33 remaining for Shoes Money Crew. 2 minutes 34 on the other hand for Morningstar, so 2 minutes to get a similar time bank. Are we the best here? On the Diva, showing his flexing capability. If you get a big bomb off here, it will be large.
Well, there's Mouth.
That's great.
So, like, Morningstar's already going to struggle with this one. It is right by the spawn room, so it's not the worst thing to happen. Obling's gone down. He's quite slow himself. I don't see how he's going to get back into the fight. So they're going to have to slow this one down, Blank. They may have got 1 pick, but that pick back onto them was really detrimental to this offense.
Yeah, now they have to make a decision. Do they want to go in? And I think the answer is yes.
Committing to this one, but it needs to be decisive. The spawn room's right there. And when Asking finds Naga, again, you're losing your bite, you're losing your attack. Tech36 commits the Blizzard. Asking goes down, but now you can just free reign it. Hang on a minute, Crocs has saved the team by taking out Tech. There comes that Dragon Strike through to find I'll be the best. Now they walk onto the point. They have to start gaining progress, but they have to be conscious of the offensive for Morningstars. Kagasi, he's starting to pop up on the Hanzo. Big hook coming in to bring Obling into the fight, keep him away from the team, and save him. Put him in the doggy bag and munch down on him later.
The massive advantage you have there on Shoes Money Crew, though, is that Diva Matrix denies so much spam, and in the end, just right there, literally at the tail end of the dragon, you see Chubbs throwing a halt. And really, I thought I'll be the best was in a safe position, but he gets pulled into the tail end of the dragon, gets killed, is denied the remake, and then Morningstars are able to just push the advantage there onwards. So very unfortunate for Shoes Money Crew. Maybe I'll be the best should have got a little bit further away from that opening, though.
You're going to be playing around the alcove of the shield, or the... is it concave or convex? I'm not quite sure with my mathematical terms on this one. But
concave, I believe.
They're going to be playing around in the shield, so they can use it as slang to watch both of these main routes of ingress. Now, the high ground is in favor of SMC. They've got the Infosites as well. They're going to throw in the Sonic Arrow. Supercharger committed, so everyone else can build it up as Naga will take Kagasi down with that Dragon Strike still in his pocket. They're going to have a couple of seconds without it. Hopefully, SMC don't do what they're doing right now and take away territory and really cement themselves on the point. Dragon Strike going to cut through as well. Naga finds Slur with the Storm Arrow, and they're keeping Asking out the fight. That was from Spawn from Morningstars, but it's all panic mode now. They have to contest, and no one's going to touch SMC will get that completion, and we're going to do Paris all over again.
I praise Asking. I praise him, man, but not there. I do not praise him there at all. He's done that far too many times. We saw it on Busan 2 where he takes a really wide flank.
Yeah.
And nothing comes of it. He was actually doing a lot more walking than shooting.
That's very true. But I don't think Asking actually gets on the point. I think he grapple hooks, and before he's completed his duration, he's taken out the sky, so the corpse gets yeeted across the point. He will get that brief stall on there to trigger the overtime. How impactful was that going to be? I don't know even if he went for the point, whether they would have had the impact required.
I mean, towards the very beginning of that fight, though, he was walking all the way around as the fight was losing.
It's very true.
And I think, yeah, sure, he could have maybe ticked overtime through, but I don't think it would have done anything either. I think he'd already done the damage to his own team by that point. Though, a lot of times he's picking up the slack as well, so I think I can let him off the hook.
Yeah.
The grappling hook, that is.
Yeah, I still think I was still waiting for the POV yeet across the point. It's just not going to happen. But now we have to do this all over again. Slight difference, 17 seconds between the two teams, but Shoes Money Crew will be on the offense first. One hole completion for both of them as well. We could see a full hold here on the second attempt.
Definitely. Hugely possible, especially for Morningstars. They had such a good point A defense. Shoes Money Crew, let's see if they can crack the code now, though. And really, a lot of that code comes down to just inputting Naga over and over and over with Pick next to him. But we'll see if that can happen. He was creating a lot of these fights for Shoes Money Crew a lot of the time. Morningstar, they've got to rely on Asking. I think that's really the big thing. One player that I am looking at as well is Tech36. Some of the walls have been fantastic, and he's following up a lot of the hooks with greatly timed freezes.
So they're going to be able to get themselves into this position right now. One thing I want to talk about there was they were constantly spy checking for a Sombra there. Now they know that Sombra's not available, they have to assume Asking's on the Widow, and that's why they played it slow at the choke.
It's smart to do, and now they can start to move forward a little bit more. They're very cautious.
And Asking's just going to take out Mouse, so that caution hasn't been rewarded because you're still losing your Widowmaker, and now your Immortality Field down as well. This could go really bad for SMC if they don't get out of this box that they pinned themselves into. Super
imperative that they did take him out when he did, because he was just about to walk into the Immortality Field. Gustav now, Amplification Matrix, they've got to avoid the Asking.
And Slur's already found Croc, so he's not going to get any benefit from that one. There's still plenty of damage to be passed through that window. But now it's going to expire. They were just under so much pressure, and everyone else just took cover. They played around the Amp Matrix. And there's only 1 minute on the clock for SMC, and they haven't made a dent on this point.
That's all, and just like Tech36 put an icicle to the brain of Mars, he put that one on freeze there, Tridd, for the time being. Morningstars, they've got Kagasi, Dragon Strike, small choke. You know what happens there, Tridd. Shoes Munich on the other hand, they've only got Naga with a Dragon Strike of his own. Can Crocs combine successfully with the Halt? That's the really big question here. Because if he can, you potentially see a whole hog afterwards, but times are ticking.
Mouse has found Asking. This was the one time where this was so important for him to make that shot, and he's found it. Dreedra goes in for the res. They don't have that for 30 seconds. They're going to eat up the Dragon Strike as well. No more division there. Slur still bringing it back on the SMC with the kill onto Obling. The whole hog forcing them away. There's that Dragon Strike to get them away from the Bongo, but it's not going to be good enough. Tech36 on life support.
Oh
Naga takes him out. Now SMC are looking to take control of the point, but Asking's back, and he repays it in kind by taking Miles off the field. Chubbs needs to get himself and start contesting the progress. They cannot let SMC get over 33%, and I think they're going to do just that. The full hold coming in, unless, of course, this dive from SMC, this panic reposition out of the base, will be enough to capture it. I don't see it happening. Morningstars shut down SMC on Paris.
Not anything happened here, Tridd. Like you said, desperation plays. I'll be the best. Got an extended spawn time or two. Only real hope you have here is to get that Diva Bomb in.
I don't think it's going to happen though. Mal's been hooked up as well. Pops the adaptive shield, but doesn't buy him enough time. Oblin can only dance around for so long, but he danced way too much off the point. Now we're looking at Morningstars to come in here and just get 33%. That's all they need to nail Blank, and then they're going to get themselves a victory, tie out the series that they have, rather than forcing out potentially a best of 3 by drawing this map.
All we really need to see here is a good couple of picks from Asking to open this one up, or is that asking too much, maybe?
Not gonna lie, I don't think it is.
Not at all. Choose Miniku.
I hate both of us.
Choose Miniku, on the other hand, they've got a tough road ahead of them. 2 minutes 34 to defend against Asking when he is getting a pick pretty much every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think you have to rely on having a Mercy here, which is why we'll see Gustav go over to it. Naga on the Farah. Bold pick, knowing that he's in the air, doesn't have too much terrain around him to avoid asking, so he's going to have to use that left-hand side and just pray to God that asking does not fly out and do a flick onto him and just get that headshot through in the end.
What I'd love to see is, I'm assuming Crocs has seen that shield that was used by Morningstar's preview. I'm assuming he's seen it before. I'd love to see him do is implement that into that corner there where Naga is right now and let him shoot from spawn to get some early ult charge in this first fight.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it, but I do like the idea. That actually could work quite well.
So I feel like that's going to be quite important for Shu's Money Crew. If they can get that ult online fast, they can shut down a lot of what Morningstars want to do here.
It's very much a, by God, you genius moment right there.
Done it! Unfortunately, apparently I'm not as smart as I think I am because SMC aren't going to do it, so I'm going to trust them to know how to play this game more than me.
Absolutely. I would go with the exact same here. Morningstars, on the other hand, they're going to go back to heavy shield break. I think they know that as long as they can get the shield out of the way using Slur, Tech 36, Kagasi, they can just get asking a position to hit those headshots.
He's going up. What's that first shot? Shield goes down perfectly. They timed that really well, but he'll still find Miles on the back line. The Bionade will shut down the aggression from Morningstars. They're going to keep applying the pressure, keeping it on SMC. Resurrection from Gustav came in just in time, but now Naga's been found. You don't have that. He's coming back from the spawn room. Definitive edge for Morningstars.
Oh, Gustav, though, comes in from the back with the blaster, and he gets back to the team, you madman.
I absolutely love that from Gustav. But Tridd now going to bring Asking back. They have that Mez online. Naga switches over to the Hanzo. He wants the Adam ability. He has to get back there fast and try and contend against Morningstars. But now they're breaking the shield of Crocs. He's carrying behind terrain, and the point control will go over to Morningstars.
They're just blasting through here. The gates are open, and it's pretty free for Morningstars just to walk on in. They will take Paris here. Well played to Asking, though. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's able to get that shot when it mattered, and Morningstars will now tie up the series. And to be fair, like, we were a little bit questionable about Morningstars' performance based off round one of Busan, but the rest of Busan looking pretty good, looking pretty contested. And now we move on to Paris, and they just edge it out in the end there and take they draw out the half. I was going to say they take the lead. They haven't quite.
No.
They've taken the moral high ground by just being better, I guess, in that particular match.
I guess. That works. I think one thing that we have to talk about is that although we have touted Asking majorly, and you're going to see him on the screen here before Obling basically puts Baby in the corner. Yeah. Sadly, for Shu's Money Crew, something else is happening at the same time, and that's the coordination from Morningstars is extremely good. And you mentioned it there before where you said that the shield was timed to break perfectly for the grapple hook to go into the air and then position himself in a way that he can just get the shot through.
Definitely fed over information. They've definitely spotted when that shield's gone down. They've gone, okay, wait for it. Go now. Yeah. You're going to know when this shield's going to be off cooldown. So that's one of those, I think we talked about it last week as well, and we actually see visceral communication in effect.
It's wonderful. It's really, really nice to see it, especially here in Contenders where we don't get those mic checks, we don't get to see what's going on, but what we do get to see is just in-game, and a lot of these teams are working very well together. Morningstar's primarily a French team too, Slur here on the Roadhog, a British lad, but it seems to me that these guys are communicating very well with him. Like, he's making a lot of the good plays. You see the Hulks come through immediately afterwards. Obling is basically always hooked in. And I think that's a mismanaged use of the ice walls as well. Yeah. Those have to be better if you want to keep your Roadhog alive. But I think they're more or less banking on Naga carrying them with this Farah. Although the rest of the team is playing very, very well, and it very much at the moment, though, just because of the amount of work that they're putting in, it's Asking versus Naga, right?
That was very dishonorable from Asking. He nailed 2 shots scoped in, and he went for the automatic rifle spray to finish him off. Yeah, dishonorable.
I mean, also, he doesn't have time for it. He's got to get it over and done with, nice and quick, you know?
I quite like what we've been seeing the supports flex onto as well, because we've seen Arbidibus playing D.Va. Which is unusual to see, any supports in Europe playing the D.Va.
We've seen him play DPS,
we've seen him
but
play
not
DPS.
D.Va.
No, not flex tanks. Watching a support go ahead and play Roadhog, that's not too alien to people. We had a lot of that last season, last year as well. So
Trispear was doing that a lot. He was one of the guys that kind of pioneered it a lot.
as well, before he disappeared and then came back. He also did that quite a lot as well. We're going to disappear, and then we're also going to come back, because we're going to go to a quick break and then bring you map number 3.